Yes, welcome you all. So today we're going to discuss about the metal forming in the model number 4 in the metal cutting and forming. So mainly we're going to discuss about the introduction and what is how the hot working and the cold working can be done in the metal forming, and what are the advantages and disadvantages of the metal forming during the hot working and cold working process. So that will be discussed in this model. So this is a model number 4. So that is a metal forming, the metal cutting and forming. So first, coming to the introduction. See, always the metal forming process is also known as a mechanical working process. If you want to make any component, initially we require materials. So the materials is depends upon the requirement, whether it might be a brittle materials or whether it might be a ductile materials or whether it might be any other materials. So mainly we require so any some materials is being required for any component. So the process of might be the varies from one form to the other form. That depends upon the materials and the requirements based on the where we are going to use it. So for all the mechanical working process, we require some metals in order to do for any process. So coming to the metal forming process, so metal forming process is also known as a mechanical working process, and it is what we call mainly we call it as a primary shaping process in which a mass of metal or alloy is subjected to mechanical forces. So in this metal forming process, what we're going to do is mainly we're going to uh, mainly we're going to focus on a primary shaping process in which the metal or alloy is subjected to the mechanical forces. So subjected to the mechanical forces is nothing but where we're going to apply the forces in order to form the different process or the different shape of the metal can be formed in by using by applying some of the mechanical forces. So next, under the action of such forces, the shape of and the size of the metal piece undergo a change. See, when we want to apply any load on any material, normally the material can able to withstand the load up to certain level. After that, what happens? The next stage is material starts undergoing in the deformation. So the deformation of the material will occur. So the deformation will occur. Either it might be in the change of shape and the size. So because of the deformation only, the shape and size of a material will vary. So if you want to compress or if you want to do any to get in a required shape, mainly we need the material has to be material has to be undergo in a deformation. Because of the deformation only, the process will takes place. So by mechanical working process, the given shape and size of a machine part can be achieved with a great economy in material and time. So by using this mechanical working process, so the shape and size of a machine part can be achieved with the great economy in a material and at a given time. So the metal forming is possible in such of metals or alloys which are sufficiently malleable and ductile. See, the mainly the malleable is nothing but where we can able to draw the materials into the thin wires or in a thin sheets or in the form of thin wires. Means it should be a material should possess such an qualities in order to make a metal forming in that such cases what we call it as or what we take as a metal alloys. So it should be in the form of malleable or the material should be in a ductile. Next, coming to the difference between hot working and cold working. See, mainly the difference between the both of our working process is similar, but how the material will behave in the hot conditions and how the material will behave in the cold conditions. So the cold working may be defined as a plastic deformation of metals and alloys at a temperature below the recrystallization temperature for that metal or alloy. See, the mainly the cold working will be defined in a plastic deformation. So what do you mean by a plastic deformation? So the plastic deformation is nothing but where the material cannot able to regain its original shape or is in a original shape, size or in a structure even after removal of a load also. When it comes to the elastic limit or what we call it as an elastic deformation where the material can able to regain its shape, size or in a structure even after removal of load also. For what happens in the plastic deformation? So where the material cannot able to regain its shape, size or in a structure. So below the temperature, below the recrystallization temperature for that metal or alloy. That is what we called as in a cold working process. So in a cold working process, the strain hardening which occurs as a result of mechanical working does not get relieved. So the strain hardening is nothing but where we want to increase the strength of a material. So that causes of a mechanical working, that is a mechanical working takes place and even it does not get be relieved. In fact, the metals or alloys get progressively strain hardened, more and more force is required to cause further plastic deformation. See, once the metal or alloys get in a progressively straining, that is hardening of the material becomes, so automatically we require more force in order to cause the plastic deformation, that is in order to get in a material to a permanent deformations. So we required more and more force has to be required here. So next one is about the nature of metal or alloy. So it is usually lower for in a pure metals and higher for in a alloys. For pure metals, so the mainly the recrystallization temperature is roughly one third of its melting point. So always the recrystallization temperature will be the one third of a melting point, and for alloys about half of the melting temperature. So amount of a cold working is already done because the recrystallization temperature is lowered as the amount of strain hardening done on the workpiece, that which will be increases the workpieces. So coming to the strain rate, that is higher the rate of strain hardening, lower the recrystallization temperature will occur. So for a mild steel, recrystallization temperature range may be taken as 550 degree to 650 degree. That is a temperature ranging between for a recrystallization. And the recrystallization temperature of low melting point melts like a lead, zinc and tin. So that may be taken as in a room temperature. The effects of strain hardening can be removed by annealing process for above crystallization temperature. So based on this of the conditions, so the cold working or the nature of metal or alloy will takes place. Yes. So coming to the advantages and disadvantages of hot and cold working process. So mainly as a cold working is practically done at a room temperature, no oxidization or a transition of a surface takes place, and the no scale of information is there. So hence there is no material loss whereas in hot working. So similarly coming to the cold working, there is a scale of formation due to the oxidization. So besides the hot working of steel also results in partial decarbonizing. So because of that oxidization, the decarbonization will takes place in the cold working process. So of that workpiece surface as the carbon gets the oxidized. So whenever the carbon gets an oxidized, what happen along with the mixes with oxygen, so the decarbonization will be takes place. So next one is cold working results in better dimensional accuracy and in a bright surface. See, the cold working will be results in a better dimensional accuracy and in a bright surface, and the cold rolled steel bars are therefore the what we called as in a bright bars. So the cold steel bars which we're going to make by using then a cold working, so that what we called as in a bright bars, while those produced by hot rolling process are called as in a black bars. So this is how we are going to appear. So we can able to identify that they appear grayish black due to the oxidation of a surface. So in a cold working, heavy hardening occurs which improves the strength. Yes, in a cold working, heavy work hardening occurs which improves the strength and the hardness of the bars, and even it increases the I forces has been required for an deformation, that increases the energy consumptions in hot working. And due to the limited ductility at a room temperature, the production of complex shapes is not possible by cold working process, because as we know that because of the room temperature and because of the decarbonization, the production of complex shapes is not possible by cold working process. So sometimes the blowholes and internal prosperities are removed by welding action at an high temperatures during the hot working. So these are the some of the major advantages and the disadvantages of a hot working and a cold working. See, the why we require an hot working and a cold working is that is mainly depends upon where the applications where we going to use. So based on that we going to select whether we require an hot working process or whether we require a cold working process. So this is are the some of the brief about a metal forming and the hot working and a cold working process. Thank you.